Good afternoon, Shavua Tov everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Leo of the Land, bringing you news directly from Israel every Monday to Thursday. I'm Rolene Marks, and this is our opportunity also to check in with you wherever you are around the world and see how you're doing, as many of us are in lockdown. And as we approach the religious holidays, be they Easter or Ramadan or even Pesach here in Israel, it is a highly emotional time for many of us, as social distancing is keeping us from our families. And we just wanted to see how you're all doing and to send you our love and support. But let's take a look at those top stories making headlines. And of course, Corona dominates the headlines in Israel as it does around the world. And let's take a look at today's latest stats. So Israel has 8,611 confirmed cases of COVID-19. And sadly, we have had 51 fatalities. Now, at least 12 of these fatalities have come from assisted living facilities, and this is being investigated. But we also have 107 people currently on ventilators, but also the important statistic of recoveries at 546, including the airport worker from Ben Gurion Airport, who was one of Israel's first cases. Last night, the first of 11 El Al planes landed from China, where they went to collect masks, protective gear, and all kinds of material that is needed by healthcare professionals to help protect and fight against COVID-19. But the big discussions have been around the disseminating of information to the ultra-Orthodox or Haredi communities. And there's concern that the reason that we have high infection rates in some of these areas is because information perhaps did not disseminate as quickly as it should have. Many of the people in these communities don't have access to internet or to phones, so it does take an exceptionally different strategy to look at ways to educate, and a lot of blame is being apportioned at their leaders. And our Defence Minister Naftali Bennett has also said that he believes that the Defence Ministry should play a bigger part or even take over dealing with the COVID-19 crisis. Now, the Cabinet is in discussions about the possibility of locking down a further 8 cities, including parts of Beit Shemesh, Modi'in Illit, in addition to Bnei Brak, which is already in lockdown, parts of Tiberias, Elad, and various others, as well as a number of neighborhoods in Jerusalem, including the Mea Shearim, where infection rates are high. There is also discussion about the possibility of a full lockdown come the start of Pesach, which begins on Wednesday night and lasts until the 14th and 15th of April. So these are the latest updates coming from Israel regarding COVID-19, but it is reassuring to see that in Austria there is talk about starting to lift restrictions from the 14th of April, albeit under very, very strict supervision. And I join many around the world in taking comfort and strength from the speech that Her Majesty the Queen gave last night, which reassured the people of the United Kingdom and Commonwealth. But I think that her message was largely universal. Another beautiful message coming in earlier today is a request from Israel's President Rivlin, to Israelis, many of whom are feeling the emotional effects of being isolated from families. Please gather on your balconies, your mirpesets, on Wednesday night at 8:30, and let us sing Ma Nishtana, the 4 questions of Pesach, together. And I think this will go a long way to helping so many feel less alone. But this isn't the only story making headlines. We also have to look at where Israel stands as far as a unity government is concerned, and the blue and white taking a very strong position. Today they announced that while they are willing to bend as far as possible annexations of the West Bank are concerned, they are not going to bend as far as deciding who becomes judges is concerned. And within the last couple of hours, Blue and White Chairman Benny Gantz saying to the Likud, if you do not sign and agree to the coalition deal today, we will take political action. So Israel would be keen to have a unity government before we see the start of Pesach, and we hope that there won't be too many more delays. Those are your top stories making headlines. While you are on lockdown, you can check out our website. We are www.layoftheland.online. We're working furiously to bring you new content so that you have something to read over the next week. But also, if you haven't joined our growing Facebook community, we would love to see you there. If you visit our Facebook page, give us a like or a follow, share our content, or even drop us a line. We would love to hear from you. And you play a role in making sure that Israel's side of the story gets out to the rest of the world. And you can do this by sharing our YouTube channel. We are at the Israel Brief, and all you need to do is simply click on the subscribe button. So with your latest headlines coming to you from Israel, this is the Israel Brief, and I'm Rolene Marks.